Working and working to survive. How can this nightmare be my life? Those lyrics have sprung onto the internet and in only a few short days have caused more drama, memes, and discourse than any other set of lyrics so far this year. There are many reasons why my channel has become a punk rock drama channel, and this story has got it all. It's got cringe, mean tweets, comment sections being deleted. We got posturing. We got cease and desists. We got cops being called. Hurt feelings all over the place. And even Justin Wang of Tales from the Internet fame shows up for a cameo at one point. Between this, the Ronnie Radke and Escuela Grind situations, us drama slop piggies are eating well this year. But please, don't go harassing anybody mentioned in this video. I'm just commenting on the situation, okay? It's just for entertainment. And keep in mind, at the time of recording, one of these bands that I'm going to talk about hasn't even played a show yet. And you know the drama's gotta be good. It has got to cause a lot of noise to get that local to a band that hasn't even played a show yet. But if you know anything about this situation, you know that it's got it all. Hey, what's up? My name is Dan Frampton. Thank you so much for kicking back with me here today. Like the video to get it boosted. Subscribe if it's your first time here. Join the channel to become a member of the secret society. All right, let's kick off. So let's just introduce you to the bands at play here. We got Fixed Altitude, and we also got Sanity Slip. Sanity Slip is a much more established band in the Texas scene, but they are both still local bands to the Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, I don't know, Texas is massive, so it's local to Texas, I'm just gonna say that. And Fixed Altitude is the band here that hasn't really played a show yet at a time of recording. Oh, maybe they're on stage right now as a time of recording. Let's see, this is February 25th, that's when I'm recording this, and they're playing at 1:30. Yeah, I think they're on stage right now as of time of recording. They're in the middle of their first show, so just keep that in mind. That's how inexperienced this band is. And their inexperience is gonna come to the forefront time and time again throughout this situation. They may have bitten off more than they can chew. So let's just kind of explain this story here. This is the video here that caused all the stir, and as you can see, the comment section is turned off. And that is because Sanity Slip was saying some very, very mean things to Fixed Altitude. Now, I couldn't find the things that Sanity Slip was saying to Fixed Altitude because these comment sections are completely blocked out. I looked for these things, I couldn't find them anywhere, but basically Sanity Slip was just telling Fixed Altitude that they sounded bad, that they were ass, and amongst a whole bunch of other really mean things. But were mean things warranted? Let's just take a listen here. You're about to hear those lyrics that I started this video with.
Working and working to survive. How can this nightmare be my life?
Go, son, for living trees. Go, son, for trees. Working and working to survive.
How can this nightmare be my life?
Okay, so clearly we got a lot of cringe at play here. They're not the most experienced musicians. They really should have been sat down and told, maybe practice a little bit more before you put some stuff out there on the internet, because the internet can be ruthless, and the hardcore scene especially can be even more ruthless. And you combine those two elements of toxicity and put it on Twitter, goddamn, you're gonna get decimated. And decimated they were. But that cringe by itself would have just sat in isolation and just been cringe. Had that situation just stopped right here, Fixed Altitude would have won the situation because Sanity Slip would have just looked like mean bullies, you know? But that's not where this story ends, and it's about to pick up even more steam because Fixed Altitude called the cops and sent a cease and desist for sending mean tweets. They took legal action and got the cops involved with online beef. And I really do want to take the side of Fixed Altitude here because they're so inexperienced and they bit off more than they could chew. You know what I mean? They're just fans of music. They're out here doing the thing. But the moment that you call the cops, the moment that you do a cease and desist for internet beef, that's the moment you lose all credibility, even though you haven't even played a show yet. So this is just showing your inexperience around every corner, around the music making process and just around the culture in general. Sanity Slip posted this statement, but this statement comes to us from Fixed Altitude, and it says this. This is a formal notice that Cerinthia Marmolejo and the band Sanity Slip have engaged in hateful posts and unsubstantiated allegations against our studio and one of our bands. She has also made threats against the band and one of the band members. I really do want to see those statements. If anybody watching this video has those specific statements that can be considered unsubstantiated allegations and threats, I need to see those statements. I need to see those comments, because as of writing this, I don't see those anywhere. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I actually 100% believe that they do exist. This is your notice to cease and desist from any and all public statements and comments regarding blah 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 blah. I have made a report to local law enforcement with the PD case number blah 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 blah, and will be doing the same with the San Antonio Police Department. What are you doing? This isn't going to stop anything. This is going to be the inciting incident, and it was. This is when it all kicked off. This is where it goes viral. And I don't think Sanity Slip even knew what they were getting into when they posted this, because they're also a pretty small band. They might be a little bit more established, but they're still just a local band chugging along, and this situation would have given them so much more attention than they're used to getting. So the post where they share the cease and desist gets a little bit of traction, but where it actually gets the most traction is when Twitter finds out what Fixed Altitude sounds like. This tweet from Dom the Virtuoso is what really throws gasoline on this fire. Now, Fixed Altitude is a meme. Now, this cease and desist thing is just something to make fun of. Now, how can this nightmare be my life has entered the vernacular. Now, anytime I open the refrigerator to pour myself a soda pop and I don't see soda pop there, I'm just going, how can this nightmare be my life? And that is a blessing and a curse. And I don't know if they know what has fallen into their laps here. Both of these bands have been given the golden ticket right now. Nobody knew who they were 3 days ago, and now the whole Twitterverse is on fire about them. Well, at least they were over the weekend, but you know how fast Twitter moves. They need to do this right. They need to move forward with this drama intelligently, and it could actually establish both bands, even though Fixed Altitude really isn't there yet. Like, musically, they're not there. Songwriting, they're not there. Performance-wise, they're not there yet. And that's okay. Everybody starts somewhere. Sanity Slip is a much more established band because they do actually go kind of hard, but at the end of the day, they're still pretty mid and probably wouldn't have gotten much traction had it not been for this drama right here. And then the quote retweets of Dom the Virtuoso's tweet just are seemingly endless. And for a band that went from having no attention, they only have like maybe 100 followers on Instagram, like 160. This is nuts. This is the kind of stuff that like changes your life overnight for better or for worse, you know? And the fact that they're throwing cease and desists and blocking out their comment section shows me that they're taking this really personally and not really handling it really that well. But all of the stuff that's going on right now is kind of like a crash course. It's like, all right, you need to learn all this stuff and learn it immediately if you want to be a band and exist in this space. So it could be great or it could crush them. I personally don't want to see anybody being mean to Fixed Altitude, but there's no way around the fact that this is now officially a meme. This has entered the zeitgeist. How can this nightmare be my life? And we get twists and we get turns and we get copy pastas and all sorts of memes all over the place. I'm not going to get into all of it. We would be here all day, but I want to mention this one. This one is so funny. You see this Sanity Slip t-shirt over here? Well, they just went ahead and just like straight up stole Fixed Altitude's logo. The band that they're like pushing around and shoving into lockers, and now they're just like stealing their logo. Crazy petty, crazy dramatic. And you know the hardcore scene just eats it up. They love all this behavior that Sanity Slip is putting forward right now. This is just making them seem like a legitimate hardcore band, unfortunately. But in my eyes, I think that both bands look super cringe right now. And that's why I wanted to talk about this drama. There is no right, there is no wrong, there is no moral high ground, there's none of that. That's two bands just being super cringe. And on the internet, there's no worse crime than that. Like, I'm even bringing back the word cringe that I haven't said in like a year and a half for this situation. And this thing was kicking off all over the internet that even Justin Wang of Tales from the Internet got involved. He retweeted a Dom the Virtuoso quote and also posted this cute little meme over here. How can this nightmare be my life? Working at work to survive. Those lyrics are so cringe. Working at work to survive. Is it working at work or working to work? What's the first line in that song again?
Working and working to survive.
Working and working to survive. Okay, I'm not sure what's worse. Working and working to survive or working at work to survive. Either way, they created pure internet gold here. Well, like everybody was being mean to these people. Even like OnlyFans girls were clowning on these guys. So now that this video is out and everybody's watched it, they have played their first show. I hope it went without a hitch. I do hope also that this drama drew a couple people to the show, but they were actually there to be chill and cool. That would be the best case scenario. But you know how the hardcore scene is. Maybe they go there, talk all this shit on the internet, open up their phones and tweet a bunch of stuff. Don't do anything in real life and just stand there with their arms crossed. And I want desperately to do a part 2 to this video. I want to know how their first show goes. I want to know how they're holding up mentally through this all. And I want them to know that my intention making this video isn't to bully them, isn't to harass them, isn't to jump on this hate campaign that the hardcore community always just likes to do. The hardcore community loves themselves a good bandwagon and loves themselves a good dog pile. And that goes beyond the mosh pit. They try to turn the Twitterverse into a mosh pit. And in this case, they've definitely successfully done so. And with situations going down like this and my opportunity to cover them, it's making me feel like my channel is living up to the mission statement. If you made it to the end of the video without liking it yet, now is your chance to do it. Subscribe if it's your first time here. Join the channel to become a member of the secret society. And if you enjoyed this video, you might even enjoy this video.